We are the same person. You are an actor. We do run international kidnapping and human trafficking rings. You are an Illuminati Freemason member, and you are not a real kickboxer. It's all fake and all CGI. So all of this is just made up.
You're right. There's a really good point there, and I said it in the video when I was 21 years old, 22 years old. I said, if I had enough money to permanently entertain myself, I wouldn't have to do this. And like you said, we did it just at the right time.
Yeah.
Because I'm so glad I was poor back then. Because if I was rich, like these Twitch streaming dorks I'm doing all these Twitches with, I wouldn't have had the mental toughness to go through hell like I did to become world champion. So I'm glad I was poor, and I'm glad I got rich at the right time so that I could retire from the sport and not have to hold pads in a gym or keep fighting when I'm past it to pay the bills. I'm glad I had a very, very long career, a very, very good career, an amazing fight record, sparked a bunch of people, did an amazing job. And then I took all my millions and millions and
avoided serious injury,
took millions and millions and millions of dollars. And now I get to live the life of a retired champion. Women still call me champ around the house. Hey, champ. You want a coffee?
Because
I love it.
It's being a modern day gladiator. When I say escaped serious injury, I have friends who are permanently injured for life. Shout out to my boy Emmanuel Rodriguez. We've seen people die in the kickboxing ring. It's not funny. Thousands of shows happen all across the world every single day, and serious injuries, you hear about them when they're high profile, but they happen all the time.
Every fight I've ever taken in my mind was life or death. And if I fight again, I fought again quite recently, and I'm not against fighting again. I will do it. I don't have to, but I can and I will. And it's life or death for me. And I'm aiming to kill the person in the ring. I don't play games. You can't play games with this sport. So that, if you're interested in my fight career, those are the 2 videos to watch. The whole documentary of that you can find on YouTube by typing in Andrew Tate King Cobra fight doc. And then Andrew Tate highlights is my full highlight reel showing all the fighting. But for now,
But that actually leads into another rumor. I'm gonna skip one.
Joe, 1 second, because we said we're super rich. I need to Mr. Producer something.
Okay.
Big Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, real bad man in the blood clot. You understand, eh?
This flows perfectly into the next question.
Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, real bad man in the blood clot. You understand, eh?
That leads perfectly into the next question. We weren't really poor because, get this, and this is going to be, I know a lot of you are going to know this is ridiculous. We didn't really grow up poor because our dad was a chess master. Andrew, do you want to talk about this a little bit, please? We didn't really grow up poor. In fact, let me tell you guys a true story. I was 21 years of age. This is not long ago. 21 years of age. Yesterday was my birthday. And me and Andrew, what did we eat on my birthday?
KFC.
Why did we eat KFC? Because when I was 21, me and Andrew used to have no food. I used to drive my broken Volkswagen Golf to the KFC restaurant in Dunstable, United Kingdom. And I used to sit in my car. And you couldn't ever eat anyone's leftover food if they ever had their mouth on it. But at KFC, they used to buy buckets. And I would sit and wait for people to sit outside, eat their meal, and leave the bucket on the table. And I used to go and take that bucket, 3 or 4 pieces of chicken. And I used to collect 20, 30, 40 pieces of chicken that were perfectly fine left in the buckets. And I used to go home and I used to freeze that chicken. And me and Andrew would break it up, put it in our rice. And that was our meal. That's what sustained us for that hard year. That year we had when I was 21 and you were 22. Yeah. That's how broke we were. I used to scavenge chicken from KFC because I thought, fuck it, I'm not dying and I'm not losing my kickboxing fights because I don't have enough protein. What am I going to do to make it through the day? That's how broke I was. And that's a sad story if you never make it out. To me, that's a happy story. That's a story of triumph. Now it's like, hey, Andrew, it's my birthday. What we doing? KFC? And it's a big joke. We sit there eating our KFC laughing about how we used to scavenge KFC chicken. So we weren't really poor because dad was a chess master. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So yeah, what's actually quite amazing is I became, like, we're going to go into the Twitch guys soon because I was talking to these Twitch guys. These Twitch kids I'm talking to now, they're making millions and millions of dollars. And that's why if anyone watched my recent stream with Aiden Ross, he's actually a good guy. He's a nicer guy than I thought he was.
Switched on.
But He's like, am I fat? I'm like, for 21 with all your money? Yeah, you could have the best gym, the best personal trainer. You have all the time in the world. You are ridiculously out of shape for your scenario. We had to become world champion. I became world champion. Tristan became European champion. And like he said, we didn't have enough protein in our fucking diet. We're sitting there eating rice every day thinking this is the cheapest thing we can eat. We have no fucking
Sardines.
money. But we need some meat. How can we get meat? I became world champion without even fucking food. And you got these kids with millions and millions and millions. He ain't even got a six pack. It's fucking embarrassing. That's why I had to tell him. And I'm still going to tell him to the rest of his life. I said, bro.
I'll help you, Aiden. Come over. Hang out with us. I'll help you out, bro.
Because
I said, bro, I like you.
You need a life coach, bro. And that's why I'm saying I'm glad I was broke when I was young. Because if I was rich back then, with my mindset, I would have been an even better kickboxer. But these kids who have make all this money and they don't do shit, it's ruined them. Now they're just soft. They're going to stay soft. Life's been too easy. They've had no trauma, no struggle. If you want to be a man, you need to go through some real shit. And you have to go through some trauma and use it, internalize it, and that's what turns you into a man. Yeah. If you're a man who's never had hard times, you're not a very good man. Any man who's had an easy life is going to fall and collapse in the face of adversity. And the whole point of being a man, the whole point of masculinity is the ability to resist. That is the whole point. So, yeah, you're right. That's not a sad story. That's a very, very happy story for us. We laugh about
Proud
it
of myself.
So, as for why our father, the chess master, our mother,
we weren't really poor because dad was a chess master.
Listen, our dad was a fucking G.
But chess pays zero. Now we have a list of the top 10 richest chess players in the world right now.
Top 10 richest chess players.
Can you get that up?
Yeah, top 10 richest chess players. So we have one, Hikaru Nakamura. He's like number 2 in the world, I think, 50 mil. Fabiano Caruana, he played Carlsen last year in the World Champions, 13 mil. Carlsen, they said he has 8 mil. Kasparov, 5 mil. Judith Polgar, of course, they had to throw her in.
Yep. Hungarian Grandmaster.
Timur Radibov, whatever, 5 mil. Point is, and then it goes down. So number 10 in the world has 2 million.
So these are the top 10 richest players of all time, and the 10th richest player of all time has 2 million American dollars. Now, this house that we're in is bought and paid for. This costs 3 million. We have a car that costs 5 million. If we were chess players, with our net worth, we'd be the richest chess players in the world right now. Our dad was the fucking man, and he taught us everything I needed to know about being a man, but he never had any fucking money. He wasn't even in the top 100 players. He never crossed into the top 100. Back in 1998, 1999, that was his heyday. He lived in a car for a lot of his life. There is no money in chess. There's very little glory in chess, which is sad because everyone loves fucking football and soccer and all these sports I don't respect. In chess, you have to be an intellectual titan to even come close to mastering that game. And dad was the man, but he never had a fucking penny. And you know what? This is one of the accusations that if you say it to my face, I'll straight knock you out. Because what you're doing is you're talking about my father's life. There's a book called Triple Exclam written by Dr. Daim Shabazz. Look it up. It is a book, biography about the life of my father that was written just after he died. If you have any doubts about my upbringing, my dad's financial situation, you think I'm a trust fund kid, pick up that book because a lot of it is about his financial struggles and he never had a fucking penny. And if you say something about my father or his life or my life as a child that you don't know to my face, you're going to be served a knuckle sandwich. Don't talk shit about the dead.
It's
Fuck
on
that.
site. Yeah,
it's on site. Don't talk ill of the dead. Now, you can say anything you want about my father if it's true. Saying he's a millionaire is to discredit the achievements of his sons, and if he were alive, he'd kick your ass, so I have to do it for him.
Correct. We have to, for the bloodline, we got to whoop your ass because that's what he'd do. Dad, our mother and father got divorced. Dad stayed in America to play chess. We moved to Luton, England, lived in a council house, government housing.
Homeless shelter first for 2 years.
Homeless shelter along with all the Kosovans at the time. There was a Kosovan crisis. Yep. We were with the Kosovans. Then we moved into a council house. Mother was on the dole. She ended up getting a job as a dinner lady one time. That was it. We were raised on $300 a month. Our father was a professional chess player, driving from chess tournament to chess tournament in a Pontiac Sunbird. Sometimes he won, sometimes he lost. A lot of the time he slept in the car. Had a couple thousand here maybe, but then he had to play chess with it for the next 3 or 4 months, driving across America from California to New York in a busted up Pontiac Sunbird, playing chess and winning games. I've been with my dad when he would go to the park with no food, no money for food, and go to the park and have to hustle the chess park players for fucking $50.
And he'd do it.
And he'd do it because he was a G. And he was not afraid of shit. And I put lots of stories on my channel, Tate Speaks, about him and how the time he got jumped in Detroit and the way he spoke and how hard he was and how he was a genius and hard to kill, etc. Very much like myself.
But he never had
any fucking money. No money. Because he wasn't interested in money. He wanted to play chess. As long as he had gas and food, that's all he cared about. He was a nomadic warrior, Spartan, old school. So the idea that we come from money, absolute and utter fallacy.
It's offensive. Okay. another rumor that we're not really rich. Now, this one, I have to say, this one's quieting down a bit. When we had 2 supercars, our cars were rented. Then we had 4 and the cars were borrowed. Now we have 27 and the cars are stolen, but we're not really rich. Andrew, do you want to talk about us not being really rich? I mean, this podcast, we wanted to do a podcast. We built the studio, 20 grand. I mean, that's nothing, but we're clearly we have something. Even if this is the first time you've ever seen us. This watch on my wrist is $195,000. This is a Patek Philippe Nautilus, for those of you who don't know. He's got an Audemars Piguet on, completely covered in diamonds. We're not really rich, Andrew. Please, because I can't even do this. We're not rich. You're not rich. You're broke. Tell him.
It's true. We're broke.
No, it's true. It's not. You're supposed to tell them that we're actually rich.
No, we're broke.
This is a rumor I hear about us.
No, we're broke.
We're not broke. We're not broke.
We're broke. We're broke.
I was rich before I had money because I've always had the best brother and the best people and the best team around me. Shout out to Marcel. Shout out to Rory. I've got friends. Shout out to Peter Bodnar. I've got friends that go all the way back. I never felt broke, but I was poor. But yeah, we're fucking rich. We were just rich.
We were born with no money and the best and good parents, and that's the best upbringing you can have anyway. So yeah, we are rich now. If anyone who still thinks we're not rich, then they're just a dumbass, aren't they? I mean, there's going to be some autist on the internet who's going to do some hit video. I've worked out that Tates only have $221 million.
Oh my God. Fuck off.
Dork. So yeah, I mean, there's just some kickboxing belts I'm just going to throw in there because I'm Mr. Producer. Mr. Producer.
Those are mine. Those 2 belts are mine. And some people are asking about my fight record. I had about, 35 fights, lost 6, 129. I was, look, fuck around and find out. The video got banned, but if you Google sitting on Bugatti punched, there's a video going around the internet of what happened to a bunch of dudes who were sitting on the Bugatti. Now, luckily they only caught my side of the story, but me and you approached those 7 dudes out of nowhere, and it wasn't pretty what happened to them. So you don't think I can fight? Fuck around and find out. In fact, there's a point I want to make. And I've always wanted to make it on an emergency meeting, about how complimentary it is when dudes attack me and write personal attacks at me from anonymous accounts. Hear me out. This is the best compliment in the world. You're not really hard. You're not really rich. But it's an anonymous account 100% of the time. It's never the actual guy's face. It's never the actual guy's name. Fear is better than respect to a lot of people. That's a real saying. People, it's better to be feared than be respected. Now, if you're going to disrespect me by telling me that I'm broke or telling me that I can't fight or saying whatever, I like that you do it from an anonymous account, because I see the anonymous account and I'm like, oh, good. He fears me. This guy is brave enough to disrespect me. No, not brave enough. Sorry. Bold enough to disrespect me, but he is not brave at all. He's had to make a new Instagram account, somehow tag me in enough stories that I see his message, and then disrespect me. Oh, so you're scared. If you're going to come at me, beg me for money, call me a loser, do it from your actual account with your face and your name, please. Because then if I see you, we can discuss it in person.
While we're talking about this, you're right. You're completely right. But while we're talking about this, something just popped into my head that I want to make a statement. This is a public statement. Please, I hope this goes as viral as possible. Since I became the most famous man in the world, and quickly, I want everyone to know that I'm not stating that as hyperbole. I am currently the most famous man on the planet because I've broken the matrix, because I am Morpheus. I said earlier on in this emergency meeting that, James, can you find out if I'm more famous, the most famous man in the world, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. This is search terms against Jake Paul, which we're going to talk about, because me and him, I told him I was going to fight him. I like the Paul brothers. I'm going to interject. So make your point, and I'm going to tell you why I like them. Well, I'm more famous than him. Okay. I'm the blue line. He's the red line. Yeah, this is Google searches.
Yeah, right.
This is me against Joe Biden.
You're currently the most talked about famous man in the world.
I'm hiring Donald Trump. I'm top G.
Yeah, top G.
I'm the most talked about man in the world. Joe Biden, you think you're president. I'm top G.
You're not top G, Joe Biden.
You're not top G. I am.
He couldn't spell top G.